how do we stop this? How do we get back on the right track? The way we do this is two ways. The first thing you have to do is get E-Verify into working order across the United States. We have millions of Americans who are out of work. We have millions of illegals here. And I don't care where these guys are from. They could be from Europe, they could be from Canada, Asia, Africa, or Mexico. I don't care what religion they are. The only thing that matters is that they are here illegally and they need to go. That people who are U.S. citizens are hiring these people, they need to be put in jail. Any employer, I don't care where he's from, I don't care if he's legal or illegal. If you are employing or renting to an illegal alien, then you need to go to jail. $1,000 per day, a 5-day sentence per day that they work for you or live in that home. You put this in as teeth in E-Verify, which means we gotta go back to the drawing board. That means establish E-Verify as it is now, and then let's look at the penalties. And that means you have to push your congressman to enforce this. That's one. Two, we have to stop using oil as a crutch. Our biggest problem on why we're out of work is because of our dependency on foreign oil. That means start drilling here now. That means start using more solar energy, more wind energy, and of course, a lot more geothermal energy. I'm not a big proponent of nuclear power. We got no idea what we're going to do with the waste products from what we've got already. Not to mention those that are being generated now in the nuclear power plants across the country. And this is going to become a big problem, much bigger than anyone has thought of thus far. So how do we implement this? Well, as far as the wind turbines go, that's going to be up to power companies. As far as the solar panels, that's going to be up to homeowners. And how do we make this affordable for them? By making it so you can take 20% of the cost off every year for a period of 6 years. And I'm not talking about small, take half the amount of power that you use. Whatever size that you can afford to put on that roof, that's what you can put on your roof. What will this do for our country? It'll make us less dependent on oil and coal to generate electricity in this country. And by going green, you should be given a incentive. You should be rewarded for going green. That's why the extra 20% in that 6th year. So you can afford to take out the loan to put this panel system on top of your house and pay it off in 6 years. Now it becomes something that makes sense for the average homeowner. Drill oil. Why should we be sending out $1 billion a year to some country who's going to use some of that money to come back after us? This does not make sense, not on a national security level and not on an economic level. We should be drilling for oil here. We've got huge resources that we can be taking advantage of and using ourselves. Geothermal. Go to Yellowstone and begin the process of having an eventual power plant the size of which can power up Canada, Mexico, the United States, and other countries abroad. Huge. We sell the power in-house at a lower rate than we sell it on the international level. We take those profits and we give a portion of it to the U.S. government in the form of taxes. We give a portion of it to the state governments in the portion of as a form of taxes. The rest of it, hey, this is a win-win. We don't have to buy anything to generate the heat, to turn the water into steam, to turn the turbines, to get us electricity. This is a win-win for us. For you people who say, oh, you can't do this in a national park. Well, guess what? This thing was set up so the national resources and the beauty of this park could be left for future generations. Guess what? We are future generations. We have the ability, we have the technology to power our country from this. We could be making hydrogen gas at filling stations across the United States to fuel cars. And what is the byproduct? Water. What's the fuel we need to make hydrogen? Water. What's the problem? The other problem we have are people who don't look at U.S. citizenship as the privilege that it is. This is not a right for every illegal alien that crosses our borders. U.S. citizenship is a privilege, and it has responsibilities. For those of you out here who listen to my voice who aren't registered to vote, you're a part of the problem. For you that are registered to vote and don't vote, you're a bigger part of the problem. You sit there and bitch and moan about how things are going, and yet you don't get involved. You are the problem. You need to get out there and vote. You need to get out there and make your voice heard. You guys need to get out there and do something, but you're not. And to that, I say shame on you. Shame on all of you. You got a problem with the Democratic Party? Do what the leftists did. Join the Democratic Party. Get in there and vote those assholes out. And that's the other thing. You tell your congressman, you don't vote this way, I'm not voting for you. And then do it. No empty threats. None of this, oh, it's raining. None of this, oh, it's snowing today. No, you get out there and vote. Take your responsibilities seriously. U.S. citizenship is not a right to anyone except someone who is born to a U.S. citizen. To everyone else, it's a privilege. And you guys need to damn well start acting like it. You have a comment on this? Fine. You just want to say that I look ugly? Why don't you stay home and play with yourself? Thank you for listening. I know this has been a long one.